Hi, YouTube. Hi, Internet. My name is Mike Sharp. You can check out my music, the dates I'm playing, where I'm playing, all that sort of thing at MikeSharpSongs.com. Or if you want to just interact and all that, I have likewise on any number of different social media sites, the / Mike Sharp Songs tag. Just type that in, you'll find me. And I'd love to hear from you. Or comment here. I get a lot of questions over the last few years with all the videos I posted, me playing songs and all that, but I get a lot of questions about my guitar. This guitar is a Godin Multiac Jazz SA. It was built in 2002. I bought it used off a Craigslist ad in 2008. Got a really good deal on it. Made by a company called Godin, Godin, in Canada, in Quebec. And it is really functional for me and what I do with the kind of Merle Travisy finger picking style, I guess you call it. Anyway, because it has all these different options electronically, as well as looking better than I ever dress at any gig ever in my life. So it always makes me look good to have a guitar that looks nice, but it sounds fantastic and it plays well, and the thing doesn't go out of tune. Even when I've played like multiple gigs in a day and that sort of thing, every once in a while I have to like tweak one note, and that's about it. I use flat wound strings. I go pretty heavy gauge. Usually the low end would be like a 12 on the high E. I usually would go with 13s or 14s if I have them available. My favorite are Tomasic Enfelds, the George Benson model. The 14s, but they are really expensive. I think they're like $37 a pack nowadays. So instead, and I find these to be very reliable and functional as well, are the D'Addario XL Chromes. This is the 13 through 56 pack. Just put a new set on today. And back to the electronics, or well, I should say, these are flat wound strings. I like them for two reasons. They don't make a lot of noise when you're sliding in between chords and all that, but also, quite frankly, they give you a nice, really punchy low-end thump, which I love to hear and feel when I'm playing. So I play through a PA. In fact, today, if I can show you this real quick, I've just got it hooked up directly into a JBL Eon G2 15, which is just a 450 watt PA system. It's got 3 inputs, so I just jacked in one for the 1/4 inch, there's 2 1/4 inch and one XLR. And it's what I use for most gigs too. I have a pedal board, I'll get into that later. But for today, we're just plugging directly into the PA. Now, I said this has interesting electronics. There are 3 different types of sounds you can get out of this guitar, the way it's built. One is the obvious one here, the humbucker, which is kind of a small jazz-style humbucker. It kind of sounds fuzzy, even when it's, clean and no distortion, no effects put on it. Just real warm. And there's 2 knobs here for the control of that. One is a volume, and then the other one being the tone knob. And when you roll that back, it's basically just rolling off treble. So you can get a lot of really cool jazz sounds out of that. I don't really play a lot of jazz, but it's there if I need it, and it's fun to use. And then also you have this second pickup down here, kind of hidden, I guess, if you will, but it's a piezo, or hexaphonic piezo, one under each string. And if you heard me say, the name of the guitar is a Multiac Jazz SA. Actually, the name of the guitar is Bell. I named this guitar Bell. But this type of guitar, this model of guitar is a Multiac Jazz SA, and SA means synth access. What does that mean? Well, okay, so the piezo, you've got 6 individual outputs of signal from one for each string. The controls for that are right here. These 3 middle faders are the middle, high, and low frequency widths, and then here we have a switchable mid, so it goes, I think, from 700 to 1200 hertz. And then the bottom here is your synth volume. These 2 buttons are synth controls in that you can assign them using your third-party device. This guitar doesn't have any synthesizing material in it. It just has the pickups that allow you to control an external synthesizer, like a Roland or a TeraTac Producer Axon products, which are great, by the way. Those controls are here and here. the volume and the two switchable up and down, or you can actually program to do different things. And then the top one here actually is a fader between either humbucker, which is all the way down here, or piezo, which is up here. I'm going to switch it to humbucker. We're going to see how it sounds, and we'll start off with the treble rolled back and the volume up just a bit. Really, really bassy. And I don't have this up very loud. It's up about a quarter to a third. I'll turn it down just a little bit. If you turn the roll the treble back in. Anyway, you get a pretty good idea what that sounds like. Like I said, it's kind of a traditional jazz sound. Now, that being said, this is it looks like a jazz guitar, and I get a lot of those questions from people, or it looks like a nylon string guitar. It's not. These are steel posts. This is a steel string guitar. I put those flat wounds on it. Likewise, it's not really a traditional kind of arch top. If you can see, it's really a very flat top guitar. And the top itself, these are legit F-holes. They're actually cut through it. And this is a semi-hollow body guitar, but the top really doesn't vibrate at all. It doesn't resonate with the tone of the strings, you know. It's just kind of for looks, I guess. It looks cool, but I think that's pretty much what it's about. But it does have that feel and that look. It's lighter because of the holes, so that's good. It's otherwise a pretty heavy guitar. And oh yeah, right. So as I fade up towards the middle, I get the mixture between the humbucker and the piezos, which will bring in a little more of the top end. Hear and feel a little bit more of that rhythmic, that attack on the strings because of the piezo being brought up. I prefer actually to have it ramped all the way up to piezo. Now, piezos don't always play well with other devices. So, for example, if I was plugging this into a guitar amp instead of this PA, it wouldn't necessarily sound too good, but that's what the EQ is for. You can kind of dial in what you need, more mids, more lows, more highs, whatever. That being said, I even like to go, I still prefer a PA over, a full range output rather than a guitar amp, which are built really for mid-range kind of punching through. It also allows me to sing through that PA system instead of having a separate system and an amp separate from each other that I then have to like coordinate. It's all going through the same thing. And I can get to that later with the pedal board and talking about how I set everything up and what I use as a mixer and all that. But for today, this is Bell. Thank you for watching, and I hope this has been helpful. I know these are available. However, I think they were no longer being made after like the late 2000s. I don't know when, 2008, 2007, something like that. But it's a fantastic guitar, and I know Godin makes a whole other series of guitars like this, both that have synth access, but also that use the piezo and other types of pickups, or just the piezo if it's acoustic guitars or nylon string guitars, and they all sound amazing. The piezo made by this hexaphonic pickup system, including the preamp and so forth that's in here. It's battery driven, by the way, just so you see that. Yeah. That's what the back of that guitar looks like. But anyway, the system that's in there is made by a guy named Richard McClish, who is awesome and helpful. I've broken a couple of these pickups over the years doing stupid stuff, and he was a great person to talk to. Also about trying to work with different products and stuff like that. This guitar doesn't always play well, even with certain pedals. because of the output being, I think, hotter, and also just the fact it's a piezo, so the EQ is slightly different than what everything's used to in normal guitar terms. But I'm always hunting, I'm always searching. So part of what I will talk about with regards to the pedals that I've purchased and that I've tried out and that I like and all that is going to have to do with how well it plays with this system. But this has been Bell's debut conversation on YouTube. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. If you got any questions, let me know in the comments, and or contact me in whatever other way you find, and we'll take it from there. Thanks. Bye.